to witness the Tao. Let silence speak. A meditative journey into the heart of Taoist wisdom. Welcome. What I am sharing here is not just words but what lies behind them. Words can only point, they do not contain the truth. My purpose is to help open the gate beyond language, hidden within the ancient Taoist texts. The true teaching lies beyond syllables, beyond what is said or read. It lives in the silence you feel when the words dissolve. So take your time. Listen slowly. Let each phrase sink in, and then let it go. What remains in the stillness is the true lesson. Section 1. Return to the womb of emptiness. Become totally empty. Let go of all striving. Quiet the restlessness of the mind, the constant flicker of thought. Withdraw from the noise of the 10,000 things. Only then will you witness how everything arises from, and returns to, emptiness. Form is only a fleeting ripple on the surface of the formless. Like mist congealing into a cloud, or still water stirred into waves. Appearances are momentary patterns born from the boundless. When we sink into stillness, truly stillness, the churning of thought begins to slow. In that gentle silence, we begin to sense the same luminous void from which our first breath came. It is not dead space. It is a living presence, vast, deep, and quietly creative. Emptiness is not absence. It is a fertile field of infinite possibility. From this field all things blossom, dance their brief dance of becoming, and just as effortlessly, melt back into the unnameable. To return to this source while still alive is the beginning of real wisdom. Section 2. The eternal rhythm of arising and dissolving. See all things flourish and dance in endless variation, blossoming, fading, transforming in perfect rhythm, and then returning once again into the silence of emptiness. This is their true repose. This is their original nature. Nothing in existence remains fixed. A leaf spirals gently to the ground. The breath rises and falls. Joy comes like sunlight through clouds, only to give way again to stillness. Like waves returning to the sea, all things follow a sacred rhythm, arising, reaching fullness, then dissolving into the unseen. This is not loss, it is return. It is reunion with Source. Our thoughts, emotions, ambitions, even our sense of self, all follow this rhythm. To observe it deeply without clinging is the subtle work of inner alchemy. To understand this rhythm is to glimpse the Tao. To flow with it is wisdom. To resist it is suffering. When we no longer fight the dissolution of things, we begin to see their true beauty, not in their permanence, but in their perfect impermanence. Section 3. Stillness reveals the secrets of eternity. Be still. Let the winds of thought settle. Let the surface of the mind become clear like still water. In this stillness, the hidden is revealed. Stillness unveils the secrets of eternity. Eternity is not endless time, it is timeless presence. It is the ever-present field that holds all beginnings and all endings, all possibilities yet to emerge. When consciousness no longer grasps or chases, when it rests in its own source, it opens into something vast, luminous, and untouched. This clarity is not achieved through effort but through release. In this spacious presence, there is no boundary between the seer and the seen. A vision arises. Everything from the falling leaf to the turning stars is a unique expression of the same boundless Tao. This is the vision of oneness. Not a thought but a knowing. Not an idea but a direct experience. And from this deep seeing, peace begins to radiate. A still joy arises, not because anything is gained, but because everything is already whole. Section 4. Oneness blossoms into universal love. From the stillness of eternity, the all-possible emerges. From the all-possible arises the vision of oneness. The knowing that all things, though diverse in form, arise from the same source. In this vision there are no others, no separation, no true distance between you and the tree, the bird, the stranger, or the star. Everything that breathes, moves, or flows is a variation of the same melody, an echo of the Tao singing through form. And when this is seen, not merely believed, love arises naturally. Not sentimental, not forced, but as the fragrance that naturally rises from a blooming flower. Universal love is not something to strive for. It is the effortless outpouring of a heart no longer confined by identity. It is what happens when you no longer see yourself as separate. This love is not bound by preference. It does not favor one over another. It embraces all, because it sees all as itself. This love supports the great truth of nature, that all things are interwoven, interdependent, and sacred. To dwell in this love is to walk in harmony with the Tao. Section 5. Mind like the night sky. The superior person settles his mind, as the universe settles the stars, without force, without hurry. Calm arises not from suppression, but from alignment with the natural rhythm of things. And once the mind is truly calm, it opens, quietly, effortlessly, into something vast and immeasurable, like the night sky stretching beyond sight, beyond thought. When the mind is free from grasping, when it no longer clings to memory or reaches for the future, it becomes clear, transparent, open. In that clarity, the essence of the Tao reveals itself, subtle, luminous, unmistakable. But when the mind is entangled in its own thoughts, caught in likes and dislikes, it sees only the restless dance of forms, a world fragmented, distorted by perception. To return to the subtle origin is to turn inward, not with effort but with trust. Like clouds parting to reveal a starlit sky, the mind clears on its own, and insight appears without being summoned. This is the true nature of wisdom, not accumulated knowledge, but spontaneous knowing, arising from stillness. Section 6. The practice of utter simplicity. Clarify the eyes, but do not look. Quiet the ears, but do not listen. Close the mouth, but do not speak. Let the mind rest, but do not think. This is not detachment out of apathy. It is a conscious return, a gentle turning away from the noise of the world, so the inner world can begin to speak. We are not shutting down the senses, but resetting them, pulling them back from endless reaction, so they may once again reflect reality as it is. When we cease the inner commentary, the labeling, comparing, analyzing, a deeper seeing arises, not through the senses but through awareness itself. Perception becomes clear, direct, unfiltered. In this space, liking and disliking fall away. There is no need to grasp, no need to reject. Everything is as it is, and in that there is peace. This is the great attainment, not acquiring more, but shedding all that obscures our natural state. It is the effortless harmony that emerges, when nothing stands between us and the Tao. Conclusion: restoring the world by resting in yourself. Remain quiet, not out of fear or indifference, but because silence is where truth ripens. In the quiet, discover the subtle harmony within your own being. It has always been there waiting. Embrace it, rest in it, trust it. If you can touch this inner stillness, if you can abide in the center of your own presence, you will gain everything. Not possessions, not praise, but clarity, peace, and a life in accord with the Tao. And as each person returns to that quiet source, the world itself begins to heal. Not through force, but through resonance. Not through striving, but through stillness. But if you turn away, if you remain lost in noise, in grasping, in distraction, you will wander in shadows, searching outside for what has always lived within. The body will perish, names will be forgotten, but the one who has entered the Tao dwells in eternity. The way is simple, but it calls for courage. Empty yourself, be still, observe the rhythm of return, and let love arise by itself. And remember, everything essential happens behind the words, in the quiet space where they end. Step into that silence now, and the teaching is complete.